legends. There's a Friday afternoon. I've just knocked off work, going to my craft beer dealer, Brewski Bar, near Petrie Terrace. Yeah, looking forward to just trying a beer that with hop combinations I haven't used before, just to inspire me for my next brew. So it should be a fun adventure. Let's see where it takes us. Alrighty, we are tasting the Verdant way beyond the long blank. As you can see, super hazy, juicy. I've already gone head first into it. A super pillowy, creamy mouthfeel. I get really big stone fruit notes on the nose and in the mouth as well. Almost like peary or kind of like a subtle apple too. So the hops that are being used in this beer are Eukanot, Nelson Sauvin, sorry I should say, and then Strata as well. I've used Strata but not Eukanot or Nelson, so that's pretty cool. Getting a good taste of those hops. I definitely think there's merit in brewing in that. Yeah, and it's certainly in a hazy IPA and that combination there as well. Yep, there it is again. Very boozy. It's only 6.5%, but definitely a boozy burning sensation as it goes down. I think it's just brewed really well, to be honest with you. 6.5%. You know, you probably only have a couple of them too, which is good beer to kind of sip on as well. We're back in the brewery. I picked up my grains earlier this week. Oats as well. So essentially I built this recipe based on the information that's on Untapped, okay? So I am guessing the grain bill to an extent based on percentages. So on Untapped it comes with you know, what grain is in there, but I don't know the percentages, right? So I've guessed that, and also going to guess the hops, where they're going to go in the boil, you know, cold and hot side there as well. So I'm going to talk about that in a moment, but let's enjoy. I hope you enjoy this this adventure video, from, you know, tasting the beer into my brew day, recreating the beer, and then into tasting. I'm well stocked on rice hulls there as well, so I'm going to be using a ton of rice hulls in this. It's about 7 kilo of grain, so that's going to be incredibly important. The folks. All right, just finished off all the grain in there. I'm going to leave it for 5 to 10 minutes. We are at 65, so perfect temp there as well. I'm going to start to recirculate that in a minute, but I just want to leave it there just to make sure that that is going to be just kind of stable at 65, and then I'm going to set a mash timer in 10 minutes, and then we're going to mash for an hour at 65 degrees. All right, we've just started the mash timer. It is currently 7:25. It's going to take a fair bit of watching, just obviously because the mash is so full with the recirc, so I don't want to get any overflows going, and the pump seems to always want to stop and start anyway, so that's okay. I just wanted to take a moment just to talk about the grain bill that I decided with. Obviously, being a clone recipe and not having the percentages, I have no idea what what the final should be, but this is what I've gone with anyway, just if you want to consider making it yourself. So I've got 5 kilograms of Golden Promise, which makes up 70% of the grain bill, 1 kilogram of malted oats, Voyager Craft malted oats Matika, so that's 14.1% of the grain bill. I've gone with 800 grams of rolled oats, which makes up 11%, and then finished off with 100 grams of Carapils or dextrin malt, which is 1.4%, and then 70 grams of Caramalt as well, which is 1%. So as you can imagine, I think it's going to be, watching this, I think it's going to be a fairly solid beer, especially with those oats, with that mouthfeel of a typical NEIPA. So I'm really excited to see how it plays out. Let's just hope the mash goes really well. We have started the sparge. I have my sparge water just on the ground there, obviously headed up to, we've headed up to 80 degrees, it's just dropping now as well. I have a feeling it's going to be a long sparge, just obviously with how much grain is in there, and how slow it's coming out now, so I might just get the, get my mash stick and, just try to massage it a little bit. But we're in no rush, of course. I want to make sure we get the most out of the sparge as well, make sure we've got enough water to fill up that 30 litres as well. So I'll just start this process, just let it drain a little bit. Gonna kind of allow that hour for this as well, just to be safe. Sparge complete, and we are now coming up to the boil. Nearly there. Just measured out my first hop additions, which is 20 minutes, 6 grams of Strata going in. Just measured my hopstand hops. So we've got 50 grams Eukanot, 50 grams Nelson, and then 45 grams Strata. Just an update, we have finished the hop stand. We are bringing the wort, whatever you want to call it, down to temperature. Gonna pitch this at 20 degrees and leave it at 20 degrees essentially for 7 days. Try to bump up the temperature if I can later in the piece to 22. I will say I've definitely haven't hit my numbers today, considerably down. So the target original gravity was meant to be 1.064. I've only hit 1.056, so I don't think my mash efficiency was great, with the recirc going on there as well. So I'll review that the next time I brew it. But still, I think we're going to have a really good beer. The final gravity is meant to be 1.014. So I'm hoping to make up some of that percentage of alcohol, essentially with the fermentation. The beer was, I think, fairly boozy, still sweet with those hop combinations as well. So, if I can, I think hopefully I'll make that up in the fermentation, but it's all around how fermentation goes. So let's watch this space. And obviously the dry hop process is going to happen there as well. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of sweetness that comes through there. So I'm okay if that final gravity is going to be much lower. Alrighty, we're going in for our pitch. Verdant IPA yeast we're using, so we're going to ferment this for about 10 days. Day 3, day 4, we're going to do our dry hop. gonna leave that for 7 days there too, and then a little cold crash at the end. So should be good. Welcome back to Brew Time, Brews and Bites. We're just having a check on Way Beyond the Long Blanc. The update on the fermentation, essentially. So I've just done this, sitting at 20 degrees in the fridge, and I just did that temp check again in here just to make sure. So it is at that temp, and it's looking at 1.013. So I know you guys know I was down on my original gravity by a fair bit. So it's looking like it's going to be around a 5.5%. Really hoppy IPA, so I think it's still going to be a great product. I'm not thinking about it too much there as well. The whole point of this exercise is to really taste those hop combinations there as well, and bear in mind I'm guessing the recipes, so I think it's really about seeing how this tastes, mouthfeel, all that sort of stuff. And then we'll brew it again, no doubt, no question, we'll brew it again. I'm thinking as well to, with this beer, just having a smell of it now, the original beer that I had, still here, still keeping it, obviously empty. I'm going to pair it with a super beef Wagyu burger, just a dirty, cheesy Wagyu beef burger. I think that's going to go really well with something like this, so we're going to create that as well. But I'll keep you posted. We are going to keg this weekend too, so I've still got probably 3 or 4 days. I'm going to leave it in the fermenter to kind of really last it 10 days, and then we're going to keg. Got to make some room in the kegerator first in my brewery. I'm going to do a stock take now anyway, so watch out for that as well. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great. Here we go. Right. Okay, here it is, Way Beyond the Long Blanc clone recipe that I did. No, it's just recording, Bubba. So I've coined it Way Beyond, or on the nose. Definitely not as strong as the original, but it is very mangoey. Very mangoey on the nose. Okay, darling. Definitely bitter. Strong bitterness. I remember the original being fairly bitter, but probably not as smooth. This one's not as smooth. Nose is really good. I can definitely smell apple and pear. I remember that being a big part of this beer. It's really good though. There's a bit of apricot in there as well. There is like this like the original got this umaminess about it, earthy. It's not too fruit forward, but very umami. You can tell from a colour perspective, pretty much got it bang on, I think. Yeah, it's fairly bang on. It's pretty good. Yeah, I wonder, I probably need to work on the hop schedule on it as well. Something else that I'm getting, I think with the Nelson, is that white grape, or it's definitely named after the kind of Sauvignon Blanc. So, yeah, definitely getting that white, kind of really, not a sweet white grape. It's definitely like a white wine smell and taste. It's still a really good beer, actually. Really good. Yeah. As I'm getting a little bit further down in the beer, letting it get warm, definitely getting that kind of apple and pear flavour, probably from the Eukanot, I would have thought. Bit of passion fruit as well, so it's a really well-rounded beer, I think. The bitterness is actually probably just a little bit too much on the IBUs, so you can probably have a play around with that. And again, I'll put the recipe in the links as well. But that's a super sessionable beer as well. I mean, sessionable, 5.6%. The original was 6.5%, so I didn't get my didn't hit my targets on the day. But having said that, I'd probably just back it off a little bit. I didn't have a great mash day, to be honest with you, or a good brew day. So I'd work on that next time again. Definitely make it again. Yeah, no, it's really good. Great to play around with the hops as well. Hops I haven't used before, bar Strata. I've used Strata before, but that Nelson Eukanot haven't used before. So I'm definitely playing around with that again. That Nelson is super, white winey, white grapey. Goes really well with that mango, yeah. The nose is amazing, incredible. Cool. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed anyway, team. Just make sure you like, subscribe, and I'm also going to be making sure that I pair this. I'm thinking on a nice Wagyu beef burger. I think that's going to go really well with this beer. Nice, juicy, butter in the pan, Wagyu beef burger. Can't go wrong. Cheers. Cheers to good beers, guys.